We'll look to start them well, as we said. Beautiful Good Friday, perfect conditions for footy. Here's Meggins as both go. No one wins it down cleanly, but Crow's able to get the first clearance. Ball's kicked out. Huge contest there. Good sprawl. Skinner came over the top as South managed to find a way to feed it out, but it's all the Crows as Parnell. Super as he does off the halfback, intercepts, but it's turned straight over to Wheaton, one of those debutants who we mentioned. He gets a kick in forward inside 50. And what a moment there as well. Noah Howe's on debut, the two debutants. Wheaton intercepted Parnell perfectly. Drove the ball inside 50, and Howes takes an easy mark, 30 out, directly in front, Chris.
Yeah, should have. Be a great moment for the young man coming up from the under-18 squad. Almost directly in front here, and not a drop of breeze to speak of either.
The Howes, as you said, steadies now as he comes in and looks to get his South career underway with a goal, and he does. Isn't he excited as they come from everywhere? Perfect conditions, as you just said, Chris. Not a breath kicked. Umpire didn't have to do too much work at all, and don't his South teammates love that? What a good way. Get the nerves settled. Get your first goal in league footy. How good was that from Noah Howe's, Chris?
Oh, it was certainly great. One of the 16 goals last season, one of the stars for South, of course, part of their under-18s grand final last year. And it's one of the moments you love to see. You don't really see it in any other sport for a first goal, but all the teammates get around him. That added his confidence to well and good. And for South Adelaide, this is the start they'd want. Of course, Crows have won the last 4 and won the last 3 here at Flinders University Stadium. Strachan and Meggins again. Meggins gets the hit down, but Strachan almost clears it. Not holding the ball, trying to bust other way through. Good pressure there with the tackle. Sampson on top and wrapped up again. Quick to be bowled up. Meggins just falls behind and couldn't go ahead on it. Tried to strip it out. Crows clearing forward. Good pressure in front by Schroeder. Another one of these young South debutants. Bustling through his shoe back. Just trying to find the way through under pressure here. Draper returning to South Adelaide after a stint at Collingwood. Again looking to drive forward. And a ball up. On top of that was Arundel.
As you said then, Chris, Arlo Draper had the couple years at Collingwood. He's back now. His brother Sid obviously debuted last year, injured at the moment, not playing today, but he will look to get his South campaign back underway with a good start today as the Crows look to feed out, look for Hamill, but it's over his head. As South now feed back, Duncan weighs up his options, gives a hands to Wilkinson, who drives it inside 50 to that man again. Howes, good contest there, unable to take a mark. Players dive in, wrapped up immediately, and we'll get a stoppage here deep. About 40 out. South forward 50 at the moment. They're building some nice pressure at the moment. Started the game well. Strawn wins the hit down. Cleared from the Crows. Murray playing in front. Unable to pick it up. Ball's flicked out. Contest in there as Bradley looks to get it. South force the ball inside 50 again, but it's all Crows. And a very nice mark there. Juggling mark. Very well done there in defence by Nankervis.
Yeah, great work by Nankervis. This has been great from South Adelaide early. Great pressure and ball movement going forward. The Crows, though, long and strong down the line. Just off hands. Flicking the handball out the back there was Sampson. This one touched and out of bounds. See one of the great sights there too about this stadium. The cars parked around. Great views for footy all round. So, slow on the throw in. Once again want to get the hand down. Thinking the handball out here. It is Arundel in from Box Hill. And the handball out gets it back. Driving forward. Nicely taken by Fit. 23 goals last year, Fit. Sizes them up. Has Free taken the goal square, and does he get it to boot? I think he does. I thought he might have spoiled it there, free tag, but he was Johnny on the spot. And South Adelaide have their second.
How good was that then, Chris? I was going to say, I thought Hamill was super then. Free tag, obviously, considerable size advantage against him. Deep in the square, one-on-one, he had to work back, managed to effect a spoil, but it was very clever. Free tag stayed in the game as he comes to the bench now for a well-deserved break. Stayed in the game, ball fell to his feet and was able to get a toe poke on it. What a South. Jared Wright, he'd be loving this. 2 early goals. As we said, perfect conditions for footy. A lot of changes for South this off-season. They've got quite a young squad in. They need to bring the energy. They need to bring the momentum. This start is exactly what they would have wanted.
Exactly. Call me a little biased, but I love to see a Kangaroo Islander on the score sheet.
See, one of the regional zones for South that we know. Strong hunting ground for them. KI. Should be very nice on this Easter long weekend, I reckon, Chris, with the weather as it is.
Always good for fishing.
As Strawn, very nicely done, reaches over top, flicks it down. But to no avail as players are wrapped up and the umpire calls for it. Again, a repeat. Strawn and Megan's tangle again. Ball scrapping around. Sampson picks up, gives a handball off the back. South clear it down the line. Looking for Arundel. That player you spoke of before, Chris, on debut. Gets it now. Works his way on the wing. Looks to turn it around. Came off the side of the boot, but it's good enough to find his teammate out there. As Duncan takes a mark. 60 out from goal. Wants someone to come at him. Looks to go himself. Drives it towards the square, but it's very nicely done there. You could see Duncan pleading, wanting someone to come, but I reckon that was Curtin. One of those debutants for the Crows who we spoke about. There's a kick there. No good at all as that one goes wide. And South here, out of bounds on the forward, will be Wilkinson. Very tough right up in the junction. Chris, but he's a very crafty player. Maybe he's got a little bag of tricks for us today.
Certainly, and that's one of those mistakes under perceived pressure as well. Just clearing out a defence. They just feel under the pump here. Just trying to find a settler. The Crows and Wilkinson, 16 goals last season. Tough angle. Goes with the right foot. Does it carry back? Just cross face to goal. Plenty of hands on it. The Crows look to clear again. Pressure by Arundel, and they force this one out. So throw for a behind. Great early pressure here from South Adelaide. This is exactly what they'd want. Good signs for their season ahead. Crows just need a settler. Strong hands down the line. That was Gallant. Further from home than he'd like to be. He's down the line, and this one trickles out of bounds, and have to get the canteen worker to get the ball for him. It's South, last touch here. Bring this one straight back down. He's couldn't quite get a handle on it. Chases the ruckman. The Crows, though, moving the ball well now. Through to Hana. Taking it on inside. Attempting inside 50, but Schroeder reads it well off halfback.
Another one of those on debut, Schroeder. Love that then, playing in front, playing assertive. Read the kick, didn't worry about his forward. Got in a really nice position as he finds Sampson now. He's had a lot of it at the moment. He's had 5 possessions early in this first term. He looks to move the ball to Clifton, another debutant who gives it back to Sampson. He wants to run. Takes a bounce, kicks, going forward. He finds his man in Wilkinson, who takes it, plays on straight away. Long kick in. He's got Dunshea on debut as well. Going back, unable. He looked like he was in a prime position then, Chris, but maybe a little wary of the behind post, and the line came up, unable to take that mark. But still, very deep now inside South's forward 50. A stoppage, a dangerous spot here for the Crows. As you can see, South have all pressed to one side, and they'll look to come through. As the rucks compete, Strawn throws his man out the way. Takes it himself, but he's wrapped up immediately. And the umpire calls for it again. So need to be wary here. Some dangerous small forwards for South. Ball goes up again. Howes and Strawn compete. On the ball, Hazeman flicks it over his head. Finds Dowling. He gives it out, and the Crows clear. Outside 50. Gallant down the wing, takes a nice mark. I imagine that is, on the far side. Playing forward this year as he holds it up. The Crows captain, as he looks to go long now, kicks it down towards a swarm of players. But it's all South Adelaide, and extremely well read there. Skinner flying across intercept marking as he does so well, Chris.
He certainly does. Skinner, of course, ex-AFL as well, but back down south and just plays it across and taken off by Clifton. Straight down the middle and tries it to Nye. Does well enough to hold it. One of the overlap handball. Has options on the outside, but just bites a bit too much off with the kick. Crows looking to counter now. Again, just taken off by the South defence. They've read everything so well going forward. It's Wheaton just assessing his options forward. Takes it on. Drives this one inside forward 50. Meggans couldn't quite. That's where to lay the tackle. It's on goal. Great work in the goal square. Read the flight of the ball well all the way. Sold his opponent and goes around the body. And easy as you like, Wilkinson. And there's another one to South Adelaide. 3-1-19 now, leading the Crows yet to score.
Chris, having a look for this game, mentioned obviously with the off-season, some of the names Brooksby, Haynes, Gibbs, Broadbent, Rose and O'Neill all departed South Adelaide. Obviously a power of experience, wealth, a lot of their top-end players all finished up older, different reasons. And as you come in, we said they're obviously a young squad this year, but they're still going to really depend on their experience. And Wilkinson, he's one of those. 69 games played. He's only 23 years of age, but as we said, 69 games of experience, and he's really turned up so far. Sampson as well. He's been a major player as well. He's 24. He's had the 89 games. These are the guys Jared Wright will need working for him, building the momentum, helping bring some of these young debutants along. It's been great to see so far. Back in the middle, Strawn, very nicely done. Flicks it back. The Crows look to go forward. Tahana, unable to take it. And Curvis there, bobbling around on the wing against Bedford. Ball's on the ground as Boyle picks it up, but he's tackled by Bedford, and the umpire calls for it again. Right here on central wing, in front of our commentary position. Strawn once again wins it down nicely to Boyle. Gets a quick kick forward. Tahana playing in front, takes it. Looks forward, he's got one-on-ones deep. That's where he elects to go. Gallant sets himself, able to get a spall in there. Very nicely done. Summerton on the ground. Has a quick pick up and kick from O'Leary, but it's offline and very nicely done. Nye getting back. Was opposed against Cook then. A big double-fisted spall. Sends it over into those cars parked around the ground, Chris, and we'll get a stoppage here deep inside Adelaide's forward 50.
See what the Crows can make of this opportunity. Fair to say, we had a lot of chances here early. 13 and a half minutes gone here in the first term. Imagine in the ruck. Wants to rove his own get. And the handball around here, just trying to find an open option on goal. Sizing them up. And just across the face in the end, but notice there. Forcing the handballs back. Just try to find an option. This South defence so drilled, and just did a quick check. 17 players out there under 20 games experience. So we talk about rebuilds. Well, this South rebuild looks well early. It's again trying to find a strong target off down the line off hands. Looking it out, finding space there. Cheeky back heel. Rundle in there. Hamill trying to break through. Great pressure on the kick. Trying to flick the handball out here. Doing well. Driving inside forward 50. Again cut off. That time by Summerton, the co-captain to Skinner this season.
I love some of South's work down back, Chris. Summerton, Skinner before. They're reading it really well. They're playing in front of their Adelaide opponents. Intercept marking, backing themselves in. Got to be assertive at times. I reckon the Crows sometimes expecting a little bit too much over the back. Unable to affect us. We have Collins now. He gives the hands. Shoeback looks to send South inside 50, and he does with ease. It's free tag. Playing up forward earlier, Chris. He's obviously swapping on the ball as well. And he looked to just push ahead then of Strawn. We mentioned Strawn. He does such a power of work as he looks now to come to the bench for a spell. He does such a power of work in the ruck, and it's a good combo. We said Meggins had started in the ruck. Free tag, that's what you got to do when you're up against really a solo ruck. With someone, a two-time best and fairest winner like Strawn, is such a dominant ruckman in the SANFL competition. You've really got to test him both ways, and free tag's done exactly that, and he'll have a chance here to look to put his second major on the board. It's free tag kicks, and I was going to say you would have heard the horns, but unfortunately for South Adelaide, hits the behind post. One behind as we go 3-2-20 South Adelaide against 1 point Adelaide, as we've gone 15 and a half minutes in this first term.
Well, they look to enter again, and the Crows' defence here in 6s and 7s. Just pressure over it in there. Bradley just trying to get it forward. Good tackle there too. Nankervis. So South here. Incredible work early. 19-point leaders. Free tag, as you mentioned, in the ruck. Going against Murray, one of the new ends for the Crows, and holding the ball. Dragging in perhaps, and it will be Collins now to line up for his first. And South Adelaide's fourth. He about directly in front. A kick from just about 40 by the time it leaves his boot. This is a dream start for Panthers fans. So Collins, just keep the pressure on here. Just looked a bit shallow off the boot, but does enough to make it through. Collins has his first. They come from everywhere to celebrate for him. And the Panthers, 4 goals now in the first quarter. And the Crows just one behind. And just begging for answers here, Adelaide.
I don't think you could have scripted a better start if you're South Adelaide, if you're Jared Wright. I think you always go in to the season a little apprehensive. They lost all 3 of their trial games. South Adelaide, conversely, they had 1-2. They dropped one to Sturt as well, but you were always a little bit up in the air in the preseason. You're sort of wondering how your form is, how you're going to go, how the players are going to respond when the heat's on, and haven't they stood up at the moment, Chris? As we said, there's a number of young players, a number on debut. They really look like they've taken over here, and the Crows do look a little bit shell-shocked, as we said. They've really mounted the pressure inside 50s. They're getting great looks. Concerning, I guess, for Matty Wright, early in his coaching debut, as we are back in the middle, as it's forced forward by Boyle. Nicely done. O'Leary unable to take as Dowling feeds out. Nankervis this way and that. Goes in between 2. Drives it inside 50. He's got one-on-ones deep, but Gallant going back. Almost could have left it for Tahana, who's coming at it, but Gallant gets it again. He scrubs a kick forward. Very nicely done off the ground as well. And the umpire goal. How good was that? Going back with the flight of the ball. Missed the mark, as I said, Tahana. He was nearly in a good spot, but Gallant, such a dominant, dangerous forward at times. He's had some really big games in the SANFL and at AFL level as well, and he did so well then for a big man. Followed up his work, all 192 centimetres, got down, was getting tackled on the ground, managed to throw his foot on it and squirmed through. Adelaide's first major for the day.
That was a great effort against the run of play, and could this kickstart something? You saw Nankervis there. He's had plenty of work to do in defence. He was out of the middle that time. Might be time for Crows to throw the magnets around here. It's 19 minutes gone here in the first term. The Crows finally have the first on the board off their leading goal kicker in Gallant. 42 last season. Look to go forward again. Murray in there. Flick the handball out. South look to continue their pressure. Again, driving forward. Just through hands. The Crows look for 2 in 2. Just missing, but all of a sudden they look dangerous, the Crows.
It's nice, I reckon that was Tahana. As we said before, he was leading out. He could have nearly taken the mark last time, but he's some great crumbing work there. Picked up at his snap-on goal just off line. As South 4-2-26 still lead Crows 1-8. We've gone nearly 20 minutes here in this first term as Duncan drives the ball out, but Parnell picks it up. He's going to send the Crows back towards 50. And he finds O'Leary, who wants to give the handball to Dowling. He has a look behind him, gets with inside 50, has a shot. It's going to be offline to the pocket, but a super mark down there by the skipper in Madgen. Going back with the flight, he read that so well. pressed up deep in the pockets, and they do run deep here at South as well. Dowling looked like he could have been having a shot just straight off line, but Madgen stayed involved in the game, took such a nice mark. Very acute angle here, though. As he steadies himself, goes with the banana. Oh, just a little bit too acute as he finds the behind post.
He tried to back himself there, the skipper, but not to be. The Crows suddenly looking dangerous going forward. So it's just cold to go back here. Of course, it'll be a long day today. 30 degrees, beautiful weather for footy, hot temperatures. South strong down the line, has a one-on-one, just through hands, and Wilkinson can't quite get a hold on it. O'Leary's in there, great pressure on the tackle and holding the ball. So O'Leary, North Adelaide Broadview man, looking the handball out. Nankervis look to go long but pulls it short. And the Crows have another shot on goal here through Gallant. Another tight angle. But this to narrow the margin to 11 points. Gallant just bides this time, using all of it. Just making us wait here, Gallant. He's gone a fair way back for his run up. Scored Crows opener with a great crumbing effort. This one hangs its line, but through for a behind in the end. So after all, it's a minor score to the Crows, 1-4-10, trailing South Adelaide 4-2-26. Who loves community in footy in SA? Amy does.
As Duncan brings it back in and finds Sampson. Who moves the ball nicely. And taken up by Arundel, who shifts the ball out to the scoreboard side as Arundel finds himself back with the footy from Sampson. Wants to go a bit longer now, does. Down the wing to Meggans, who presents very nicely. Some strong hands there by Meggans. Great mark out on the far wing. South looking to obviously take this lead that they hold into quarter time as Meggans. Down the wing, big contest, Howes and Murray. Ball comes over the back. It's picked up very nicely by Freitag. Gives a handball inside to Arundel, who's kept going. He looks to go on goal. And just offline, the third behind, the third poster for the quarter. For both teams, Arundel doing a power of work in the back half and then managing to get forward. Is a very nice intercept from Howes as Adelaide look to come back out. And Arundel, that man I spoke of just before, takes a super mark. Contested up against Wimpress. He's only short in stature, Arundel, 172 centimetres, but got underneath that one there. That was very nicely done. Howes, such a nice intercept mark. We said on debut, only 18 years of age. Presence of mind to lower the eyes and find Arundel, and he'll look to put his first SANFL League goal for South Adelaide away as he comes in. Kicks. Look good off the boot, but just to the near side and finds another behind. Arundel is South 4-4-28. Lead the Crows 1-4-10 as we've gone just a tick over 24 minutes here in this first term.
Well, he's looked lively on debut. Arundel and the Crows there. Just missed some chances. South looking to pile on again late. And it's a free kick now. The Crows is drawn back in off the bench here. Doesn't look to be in too much of a hurry. South defence held up well, and he's given Collins a gift who drives it forward, has the one-on-one. Freitag, how's it sit? Looks the handball out, doesn't trust it, the left footer. Under pressure, riding the tackle well, dropped it and holding the ball, and fortunately, there the forwards couldn't capitalise and save Strawn's blushes as the Crows look to Cannon out. Out of defence. Just strike back here late. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. And wrapped up immediately. The umpire will ball this one up here. The Crows on the let off, but stoppage here at the top of South 50. 25 and a half gone in the first term. Looking at the handball out here. Hazeman drives it down the line. Almost a strong mark. Couldn't quite bring it down. Just spent it before he had it there. Not quite driven in the deck by Boyle. Umpire will ball this one up almost directly in the centre bounce.
It'll be Meggins as Strawn comes in as well that'll compete in the ruck. Can't be too long left. 26 minutes gone in the quarter. It's one down. Dowling streams out of the contest. He wants to find O'Leary and he does right on the paint of 50. Crows will want a major before the quarter time break as he drives it in. He's got Welsh, one-on-one, who's unable to take the mark. Opposes Summit and follows up. Tackles, he looks, he pleads with the umpire for holding the ball, but Summit unable to scramble it over the line. Rusher behind as the Crows now 1-5-11. Trail the Panthers 4-4-28 as Duncan looks to drive South out of defence as he kicks long. A jump by Howes, he got up high. Unable to take a mark as the Crows pick up. Howes follows up his good work. As it's taken over the boundary line on the far side, and the umpire says, give it to me. Ball it in.
So, the Crows have enough time to peg one back here. It was a brilliant start by South. Kicked the first four of the game before Gallant answered back. The Crows are going to go forward through Dowling. Again, the South defence holding up. And the umpires confer, but this will be another ball in. Great turnout, great crowd here on this Good Friday footy. Megan's in there, held his own in the ruck so far. Again, great pressure. The Crows forwards forcing another stoppage here inside. Forward 50. Have to throw it. Was trying to ruck it into his own boot. South look to clear it through Skinner. He's tumbling over here late. Bustling through there. It's Collins. The umpire swats a high free kick.
Bradley gives the hands now to Draper, who wants to go quickly, but it's all Crows up ahead of the footy as Nankervis intercepts. Can they get one more major? Doesn't look too pressed with going quick as he looks inside and finds Parnell. Switches the ball out to Curtin. Last year's pick 8 in the 2023 draft over from WA. An impressive size. Curtin as the siren sounds. The ball in Hazeman's hand. South Adelaide 4-4-28. Okay, to bring the footy and kickstart your long weekend. As we wait for confirmation from the men in pink, and we finally get that. It's Meggins and Strawn. Strawn very nicely reaches over the top. Dowling, who we said had a big first term, he's first on it, but he's tackled immediately by Sampson, and we'll get a restart just 5 metres out of the centre circle. Contest. Meggins able to win this one this time. Gives it to Draper. He wants to fend off and does. Looks nicely. Comes out. He looks for an option off the side of his boot as Duncan leads Madgen in the race, but Madgen good enough there to get to it first, but he's wrapped immediately by Duncan. Fires out a handball. Hazeman scrapping on the ground is well tackled, and the umpire calls, and we'll have another throw up over there on the far side wing, centre of the ground.
Meggins has battled hard, but as we mentioned, a big day cut out for him. It's the Crows look to drive forward. Gallant with the fist, but plenty of South players around. Let's trade this one. Here's the defence holding up well, and pressure there from the Crows forwards. Young Welsh not going to die wondering. Always going to have attack at the footy here, and again, brilliant. Done and wrapped up by young Curtin, as you mentioned. Pick 8, a high prospect here for the Crows. Quickly thrown up. Megan's straight down, but immediately wrapped up again. Another stoppage here, almost directly in front of us.
Dowling feeds it now. Boyle gets it. Ball gets it back. Finds Hazeman. He's under pressure, but he's able to find Strawn, who gives it. He's got Wimpress, who drives inside 50. A great kick to Murray, but how nicely done there by the South Adelaide player. Able to get a hand in and just spoil it. Magin, though, picks up. He gives a handball. Parnell this way, that way. Looking. Send Adelaide inside 50. Wants his man there coming out on the lead. I think it was Dowling unable to take the mark, but Hamill's found himself on the end of it with his left foot. Just pushing off the line. Umpire had to do a lot of work there. Just a minor score. So Hamill getting high up the ground as a half-back as Schuback brings it back in. He gets his own ball back. Looks down the line. Megan's coming back just through his hands as Howes able to pick it up. Give the handball inside to Duncan. He wants to get around Strawn. Not good enough. Dropped the ball. Super work by Strawn. Didn't fall for the shimmy as he wants to get it down the line of Welsh. He's unable to take the mark. Megan's now. Kicks down the line. Howes. Super work. He started this game really well, the young player. He goes down the line. He wants Fit. Coming across with Wimpress. Great contest. Fit and Wimpress fight for the footy. Umpire says all's fair. I'll have it. Take it from here.
We've treated to a great contest here early. Strawn. Making the handball out. The Crows again. Going to go forward. Has options inboard. Tackle later after the kick. Galantis will to get the front position. Off hands. Welsh reads it. Open goal square. Sizes it up. How does it bounce? Murray with the chase on. Off the deck. Puts it through. Brilliant work going forward by the Crows and Welsh there. He would have backed him into a score from far out. He loves to have a crack, but Murray there off the deck, and the Crows have their second goal of the day.
I'm going to give Welsh, the young player, the benefit of the doubt there, Chris. I love that. He kicked the ball. I reckon he was trying to put it out in front of Murray, in line with the goals. It's a little bit of a shank, took an awkward bounce, but Murray on debut, as we said, 201 centimetres. I like that, Chris. Big man. He didn't want to bother bending down. He must have been watching the Socceroos the other night win 5-0, and he thought, I'm going to try that myself, and very nicely done. Not a bad way to get your first league goal straight off the deck by the big man. Very nicely done, and Matty Wright, he'll be happy with that. The Crows get a quick answer here, Chris, within the first 5 minutes of this second term. 2-6-18 now. They trail the Panthers still 4-4-28.
So can the Crows answer back again? Is Draper, who's played well in his first game back. Driving forward to Collins. Nicely taken here by Fit. Sizing them up here. He's going to give it his best effort. It's a long left foot. Oh, and how does it sit? The umpire bides their time. It's a goal. A marvellous effort by Fit. From beyond 50, gave it everything he had. Thought it might have been just touched on the line, but the fans behind the goal knew it. He knew it. South Adelaide answer back in style. As soon as the Crows, through all their good work here, now South Adelaide, 5 goals, 4-34, leading the Crows, 2-6-18. Who loves community footy in SA? Amy does.
Chris, one of those senior players, Liam Fitt, he's played the 82 games, 25 years of age, but he's their leading goal kicker in their squad at the moment with 110 majors, and that 111th there, wasn't that a pearl? I love that he backed himself in. We know kicking to that southern end, we said before, such a perfect day, the windsock's hardly moving, outside the paint as well. I love that. Backed himself in. What a beautiful left foot. All the way. Sensational major to get that lead back to 16 points for Sturters. Get the contest here and a restart again just on the edge of the centre circle. Strawn wins it down. It's fired out Nye. He finds Duncan, who finds Sampson, who wants to go to Arundel. He's been prominent early in this match. Sells some candy and then comes back inside to Duncan, who's also playing well. Off the halfback. Finds Sampson on the far side. Who goes to Duncan, and a nice build here by South Adelaide. Arundel doing a power of work, getting it back inside. Gives the hands to Duncan. They want to send South inside 50. That he does, but it's all Crows. Strawn, best position, unable to hang it on. Super pressure there. Wilkinson could have been taken without it, and he was. Maybe a little overzealous there from the Crows defender. I think it was Nankervis.
It's just what happens when you're chasing the game. As a defender, you just try to stop it at all costs and just gives away a bit of a cheap free.
Exactly. I think it's testament at the moment to the pressure South are putting on. Driving the inside 50s. Putting Adelaide's backs under a lot of pressure. But Wilkinson. Now he kicked that major in the first term. He's going to kick from just inside 50 to that southern end, as we said. Kicks. His reaction will tell you. He looks excited. And that could have been an Easter celebration, Chris. It looked like the bunny ears came up after that as the players, his South teammates, swarmed towards him. Super goal there by Wilkinson. Kick truly, such a dangerous forward. And that work there from him sends South Adelaide now 6-4-40. Leading the Crows, who are in a little bit of trouble at the moment, Chris. 2-6-18 as we've gone just over 8 minutes in this second term.
Yeah, not the start they would have hoped for, especially under Thurrock. Would have been hoping for a nice long weekend treat here as the Crows just struggling. But it's South. I sense the occasion. Home game here. Of course, going into a big gather round as well. It's looking to make a huge statement here as they look to break that massive drought on that premiership. This Meggins taps it to himself. Taps it out a couple of times. Waiting in there. Driving forward. Brilliantly done here. The Crows look to clear the short one out of defence. Well down the line. Imagine looking the handball out the back. Driven forward by Boyle. Gallant couldn't quite bring it down, but Schroeder has done so well down in defence this afternoon.
Chris, I've loved Schroeder playing assertive down in the defensive half for South Adelaide at the moment. I reckon that's probably the third or fourth time now he's led Gallant to the ball, and it makes it so hard as that key forward when you're trying to poach one from over the back. Schroeder on debut, playing really well as Meggins. Or unfairly, as the umpires said, worked Strawn out of it and was going to get a clearing kick, but it's been brought back to Strawn. And now just outside 50, looks to lower the eyes. Beautiful kick. Boyle, who'd been at that stoppage, just worked forward on his opponent. Collins dipped into a bit of space, a tightish angle, but he'll kick from about 35 metres out. Very gettable kick here, and something really that the Crows need at this stage of the game. It's Boyle. Comes in, but once again the Crows just hit that near side. Able to convert some of their opportunities into majors now as they go 2-7-19. Still trailing South Adelaide 6-4-40. There's plenty of work to do as Duncan looks to bring South back in.
There's just a bit of fumble on the kick out. Imagine, quick to follow up with the tackle. Wanted the free kick, but not to be. As you mentioned, 2 goals, 7. Missing goals can have quite the domino effect on your teammates. You always feel like the pressure's on the next kick here. They trail by 21 points. 11 minutes gone in the second term. Meggins holding up well. Wylo dragged in, no. Be another stoppage here inside the Crows. Forward 50. Hootout's evening up now, 13-14. So Meggins is getting quite a handle on things. The Crows look to go back to go forward. And nicely by Parnell. Sizing up his options inside forward 50. And Welsh almost rid his opponent. Gave him a shove afterwards. Sizing up though, it might have been Gallagher, the Irishman, on debut. And just sprays it out wide. So another chance going begging for the Crows.
Not the finish he would have liked, Gallagher, but the Irishman, how nice was the step over on the boundary line. Stepped over, picked it up. Flying shot on goal, but just looking then, Chris, that's what the Crows need more of. Parnell coming off that back. He looks so dangerous. He's such a good user with ball in hand. They need to get it in here as Burt for South Adelaide looks to bring him out. Welsh unable to take the hands. Duncan picks up, goes back to Burt. As Nye, he's tackled by Cook and could have illegally disposed of it. Holding the ball, take your pick. Great pressure by Braden Cook. As out here is, I reckon, Liam Fitt getting in the protected zone. A little bit careless there by Fitt. Didn't need to be that close. And Nye's now going to be 40 metres out from Adelaide's goal. It's about a 45-degree angle. Perfect spot for us, Chris. Right behind Cook.
It's a lazy one to give away. Can he make this one count?
It's Cook. Steadies himself. Kicks. It's a straight kick, but straight into the behind post on the far side. Out of bounds on the full. No score at all. As the Crows once again just squander opportunity that they have going inside 50. Warm conditions like this today, as we said, we know fatigue's going to set in. First match of the year. You don't want to be chasing the game late in the second half, which the Crows are setting themselves up for. As Summerton drives long down the line, multiple flies, no one able to bring it down. Ball comes out. Ryan is Dowling. Looks to take the Crows inside 50. Can't find his man in Gallant. Super pick up though. Feeds it out to Hamill. Takes it, keeps his arms up. He's able to get the handball back to Gallant, who's smashed in a tackle by Fitt, holding the ball. Sensational by Fitt. Gave away the 25 just before. Kept up his pressure there. Took Gallant in a big tackle and wins the ball back for South.
Oh, it's just what South want here. They continue the pressure. Striding forward off the back of Sampson. Hammock on that outer wing. Coming back inside. Just a slight fumble there by Somerton, and they get the free kick though. Again, holding up well here. South is. It's not quite going with the handball. Driving to the top of 50, but it's all just Crows defenders as Clifford, one of the easiest marks he'll get, just pushes this one out wide here as we reach the 14.5-minute mark of the second term. Strong down the line. And just shove out there from Gallant. Just knew he was out positioned. It's a bit of a cheap one to give away. He's had a tough day so far, Gallant. Got a goal. No, the Crows openers find Schubeck. Going back across here is Duncan. Just held up nicely here. It's the runner. Almost in the way as it's fit a bit further home than he liked to be.
I think Chris Hall still thought he was playing then. Chris, he nearly got in the way. He's the runner for the Crows today. As Fit finds Wheaton inside, who gives the hands to Duncan, who gives it to Sampson, who's under pressure immediately. Picked up. Tahana just throws his opponent to the ground. Nicely fended off as Hamill feeds back to Nankervis. Crows are going backwards though. Nowhere. The goals. Wilkinson slips off the tackle. As Strawn sets himself underneath that. Could have been collected high and was by Nye. Had the size advantage and used it well, Strawn. As he wants to go quickly. Close to the man on the mark. It's touched. But falls into the lap of Edwards as he gives the hands over to Ryan, who sends the Crows inside 50 with a nice kick, but once again, it's that man Schroeder on debut, leading Gallant to the footy once again. He's having a sensational first half for South Adelaide, Schroeder. He's been all over Gallant. Defensively, Jared Wright would love what he's seen from the first game. As Burt now, two bounces, wants to send South forward, but it's Wimpress who intercepts for the Crows. Looks inside, take your pick, Strawn. Comes back inside 50, Skinner. Too big, too strong for Gallagher. Another intercepting mark for South, and they look to repel.
They just done so well. It's here's Sampson now. Doing well. Finding Bedford. Haven't caught a lot today. Scrubby one down the line. A good contest by Fit. Force that one out of bounds as he looked to be beaten on that attempt here. So will be a throw in.
Fit has had a super second term, Chris, as well. Doing all the 1%ers, kicked that really nice goal, but a couple of chase down pressure and getting a fist there to force a stoppage.
He's certainly done well. His free tag, getting from position on his non-preferred. Is Fit again into it. Up and under. Just trying to, this one in, a bit of a pile on. So there'll be a ball up. Going out to free tag and Strawn again. And the tap down well. Bustling through. Dowling. Again, Crows look to play the boundary as Bedford sees that one out of bounds.
Right here on centre wing. In front of your SANFL now, commentary position. Chris Carey and Jack Hanneth calling our round one Good Friday clash down here in the south as Dowling feeds it out. Boyle, very nice fend off on Draper, gets it to Strawn. High footy in, Skinner in best position, sets himself. Super intercept mark. Had his name written all over that as soon as it came off Strawn's boot. Such a good intercept player. Skinner. No real option, so he looks to go long. Meggins is the target. Meggins is the mark. Great mark. Gives it quickly now to Sampson. He takes one bounce. Doesn't come back to him. Picks it up. Very smartly done. Finds Wilkinson just inside the 50. Wilkinson looks to go inside. He probably gains about 5 metres. The angle probably similar, but he finds Burt over on the far side, who's been working that far wing all day. Isaac Burt. He looks now. Comes inside. Driving left foot kick. It's going to be offline, not make the distance. As Wilkinson reads the crumb. Quick snap over the top, and Arundel creates his own luck there. Managed to beat Hamill to it. A very acute angle though. Deep in the pocket for South as he'll look. Try some magic here as he throws it on the right foot snap, but the hand up, the celebration tells you all. And after 2 behinds on debut, Jake Arundel, what a snap, what a way to get your first lead goal in SANFL footy.
That's a great way around the body. And Wilkinson there, I thought with the first pass off, he might have been a little unselfish. Thought he could have backed himself, but the second there, snap across the body. Arundel read it well, and as you mentioned, just a quality finish in South Adelaide now. 7-4-46 leading the Crows, 2-7-19. 20 minutes gone here. The Crows are going to start, and they've got to start putting some of these chances through.
Could have been excused. As you said, first quarter, it looked like South, they were starting quick. Chris, a lot of momentum up, a lot of energy, but they haven't dropped off at all. They've carried that into the second quarter, and really some of the Crows, I guess probably more senior, more experienced players here at SANFL level, they probably haven't come up to the level at the moment of what South are bringing. Been great earlier. Strawn flicks it out. Dowling, not one of those. He's been great for the Crows at the moment. Looks to drive them forward. Magin and Summerton one-on-one. Brought to ground. Schroeder playing assertive, gets the ball, fires it out to Duncan. Great handball. Duncan finds Summerton. He goes 30 metres back to Skinner because he needs a target. They want to control it here as Skinner comes across to Clifton. Using the expanses here of the South Adelaide Oval as he finds Duncan. Down the pocket as Duncan finds that man again in Schroeder. He's having such a day on debut. Could have been dealt with after he kicked, and he was. It's going to be a free kick. Wilkinson, he comes inside. Ball Duncan giving some overlap run as Draper wants to get in on the action. He looks to drive forward. He's got Howes one-on-one. Sensational work there by Howes against Clifford. Great kick by Draper. Put it to his advantage over his back shoulder. Finds him there, and he's a chance here to kick his second for the day.
So there wasn't help of that ball movement from down back. Just the play on, and even with or without the free kick, just their willingness to get the ball going forward, and Howes here for his second. So everything seems to be going South Adelaide's way. Howes looks good off the boot, straight over the umpire's head. Steady as he goes with his second, the youngster, and it's just been so incredible. You mentioned not only South Adelaide's pressure and the great work from the senior players, but these debutants and these young players have fit right into South Adelaide's system.
It's funny, isn't it, Chris? The birth certificate doesn't apply when you're out on the field. If you're out there, if you give good intent, you get in the right spots. If you move the ball like South are doing at the moment, and you give your forwards chances to have one-on-ones, you're going to keep creating opportunities like that. I've liked Howes' second goal for the day as well, but he's also given some really good contests. He's been some crucial ones. They don't have a lot of height down the line, but he's managed to get there when it's his turn to go, create a contest. Jared Wright would be loving what he's seeing from his young debutant.
Certainly so, Meggans. Sean here in the ruck again. 22 and a half gone here in the second term. South by 33 points here as we near half-time. They've been hot since the offset and looking to go into this mini break here strong. Of course, all SANFL games concluding today for this weekend and the week off for Gather Round in the big state game. Here's the Crows, though, looking to go forward. Dowling across goal and strong hands, though. This looks to be Murray for his second. Read the flight well here, a bit more conventional than his first shot on goal. As he'll look to go around the body. It's fair to say the Crows got to put this one through. Narrow the margin back to 27 points. Skinny off the boot, but it was enough. As Murray with his second. The Crows now 3-7-25, trailing South Adelaide 8-4-52.
It's great work by Murray. Chrissy's second major. As we said, had the fancy soccer finish first, but a very nice snap there from the big man. It's been a good quarter for him as well. As we said, Gallant, he's really been blanketed by Schroeder. He's been all over him. Magin's fought hard, he's contested well, but Crows really don't have a real focal point at the moment up forward. They've struggled a little bit. Murray, though, he's bobbed up with 2 goals. He's made the most of some opportunities. And that's what you need sometimes, especially as the Crows are at the moment. They've got their backs against the wall. They're under a lot of pressure from South. They've been building the pressure. Even though the inside 50 count at 17 apiece, it feels like it's been living in South's end. As ball goes up, Megan's got across too early and he's going to infringe, give away the free kick. Strawn's been good this quarter in the ruck. He goes short to Dowling. Getting it back to Parnell, as I said before. He need to get his run into the game. He looks unable to find Gallant on the lead. Great pick up by the big fella. Kicks it back. Top of the square. There's a massive players. Compete. Throwing the ground. There's a boot that gets swung at it as there's pressure up. Crows, they want to capitalise as Bond picks up, and he does exactly that. Sensational work there by Hugh Bond. It was great work by Gallant. Kicked home to him from Parnell. Fell at his feet, but he picked it up. Sent it to the top of the square. Massive players, and Bond got himself in a great position, a front and square crumbing position, and a nice snap finish. Christian as quick as that. 2 in 2 minutes for the Crows. Really avenged that gap. 25 and a half gone now in the second term.
Yeah, it certainly does. 21 points now. It's been just great work out of the middle. As you mentioned, Strawn really lifted in this term. They can just get their key ball movers around it. Just trying to get that reward for effort here, but still plenty of work to do as we near half-time. 26 minutes gone now in the second term. Can South Adelaide sniff one late? Will the Crows get 3 in a row? Fought hard here. Strawn sees it and just smacks it forward. Bedford there. Couldn't quite get the pick up here. The Crows intensely lifting around the ball. Shoves his opponent off it. And then holding without it here. So a bit too overzealous by Dowling. There's Bedford from centre half back. Pushes that one wide to the outside here. Couldn't quite find his teammate. Sanson flicking the handball over the top here. It's great ball movement. Collins in there. Well, to get it forward. There's a Rundle. Great goal. Earlier in the term, driving it forward. Plenty of hands in there. Snap around the body. I think it's that man. Howes again, perhaps. It is. That's 3 on debut. Brilliantly read it in front. Brilliant finish in just when the Crows were looking to gain momentum and get back into this contest. Howes with a brilliant one for South Adelaide.
South Adelaide could well have found one here, Chris. In Noah Howes. Aerial in the contest, competes. And you see then just the talent and raw skill as he picks up and snaps on that right foot. And if you keep doing that in front of the grandstand, Chris, you're going to become a fan favourite pretty quickly down here at South Adelaide. Mentioned before the game how much youth they had, how they were going to need players to stand up and probably play above their age, and Howes has done that in this first half. 3 majors on debut. Can't sing his praises enough for what he's delivered, not just with the goals, but also his pressure and contest as a tall forward. As we come back to the middle, Megan's able to get his hands on it, but Sabon. Strawn gives to Dowling. He's had a lot of it this quarter. He sends the Crows inside 50. Gallant over the top. Summerton was playing in front, a little bit confused there. I'd only said just before how hard it was to take a grab from back in Glenn. Maybe he's listening to the SANFL Now broadcast as well, Chris, because he wanted to prove me wrong. He just takes a sensational grab over the top of Jake Summerton. Very tough to do, but he's managed to poach it. And after the work we saw just then from Howes, he's got a chance to send a quick rebuttal for the Crows here. If he's able to get a major as we just tick over 28 and a half minutes. There can't be too long left in this term. This is exactly what the Crows would need going into the major break. Gallant steadies himself from the long run. Kicks. But he brings it to the near side. Unable to capitalise on the very nice mark that he took. As the Crows 4-8-32 trail the Panthers 9-4-58 as we go just a breath over 29 minutes. We can't be too long left before the major break.
Certainly not. They're saving Summerton's blushes, but the Panthers again look to attack quickly out of defence here. Good diving grab from Arundel. Gets on quickly. Has Bedford. Looks to steer inside. A bit of a double-handed bounce there. Good to see the art of the double-hand is not dead. South again. Attack forward at all costs here. Somehow gets a boot on it. Draper looking to apply pressure. The Crows again looking to strike late. Looking the handball out to Boyle. Driving 50. Has Madgen. Looks the handball out there. Murray. He's got a couple. Looks to just get it forward at all costs. Just off hands though. Flying the pressure. No free kick. Bedford has to go backwards and the siren sounds. Here for South Adelaide at half time. They lead the Crows 9-4-58.
As we look to get this third quarter underway as siren sounds. Meggins and Strawn have battled all day. Strawn brings it down, but he's tackled immediately. Able to fire out a handball though. Picked up. Nice little flick to Boyle, who looks to take the Crows inside 50 early. And he does exactly that. Murray got both hands to it. And yes, affected a spoil. Very nicely done there from Toby Murray. Up against a very experienced, very capable Sam Skinner. But he led him to the footy, all 201 centimetres, went the highest point, had the arms outstretched. Skinner trying to affect the spoil, got him too high. And exactly as I just touched on then in that break, Chris, we want to see what sort of a response the Crows, and we see there in the middle, Bond flick the handball to Boyle, and they look to go long direct, Murray straight off the bat, and they can get themselves on the board here first in this third term as Murray kicks, and kicks truly for his third of the day.
Yeah, he's looked the most likely for the Crows going forward. Of course, with Gallant, who's had a tough out, especially up against the likes of Schroeder, who seems to be reading everything coming in forward. So Murray, can he with a key target and kickstart the fight back here? Pushing so much at the back of Strawn to the ruck as well. That's where they want that quick ball movement out and get their skills flowing. But South still lead by 20 points here. Just awaiting the positions. Here is Strawn and Meggins again. Strawn going to get the tap down. Meggins picked up immediately. Driving forward off the back of Wheaton. Good one-on-one. Top of the 50. Not quite by fit. Sizes it up. Goes on his left. Has free tag. And just couldn't quite. His free tag almost set the behind post flying. As it's just through for a minor score. Who's looked dangerous up forward for the Panthers today.
He's been great up forward. Chris, he always looked dangerous. He wanted to get onto that left foot and just offline, though, unable to affect it as the Crows transition the ball out here to Cook. It moves it up to mid-wing as they bring it down, looking for Murray again on that lead. Met solidly there in the contest, slow to get up Murray, but the Crows still find themselves with it as Duncan reads it superbly, finds the intercept, wants to get going forward and finds free tag. He gives it to Arundel. And inside out, right foot snap on goal for Arundel. The fist pump to the crowd in the celebration. How good. Jake Arundel, his second major for the day. South Adelaide with the quick bite back from Adelaide's early third quarter goal of this term.
And they look to have a dangerous small forward in Jake Arundel. His 2 goals have been quality. They're around the corner in the last term, and then that on the run. Free tag could have easily taken his time, gone back, but on the run, gets the hands, as you mentioned, check side, just as easy as a drop punt. Brilliant finish in the end.
Looks a very classy player. Jake Arundel from Box Hill in Hawthorn. Come across this year, 21 years of age. South and Jared Wright, they'll be loving what they're seeing from him in his debut game.
Certainly. Came across, only played a handful of games last year. Impressed, though. That prelim loss to the Gold Coast is Strawn. Gets the tap out the back. Crows again through Boyle. Drives forward to the top of the 50. Just hands their shoe back. Couldn't quite get a hold on it. Does again. Licks the handball out here. Goes long across. Finds Duncan. It's done well down there. Chip over the top. Dangerous, though. Imagine picks that one off easily. Just sizes it up and somehow all on his own in the forward 50. Seemed that defenders had just switched off around Smithson. Whole line up for the immediate Crows response.
It's unfortunate for Duncan because he was the one on that goal just before. Chris had intercepted in the middle of the ground, drove it into free tag, and they end up getting the major. And just there as he was trying to bring it out of defence, a little bit lazy on the kick and the turnover, and resulting now for an Adelaide chance here at goal. So
Smithson, immediate response, comes back late. It's a great finish in the end. So after the costly turnover, the Crows peg one back, 6-8-44 to 10-5-65. 5 minutes gone in the third term. Who loves community footy here in SA? Amy does. So the Crows, a couple of good goals here early in the third term.
It's been a nice response from the Crows. As we said, they really did. Better show something early. We said it's a beautiful day down here. We're in the shade though, but I can imagine out on the ground, out exposed in the sun, it's definitely going to be sapping. First game of the year as well. It's been played at a high intensity as well. A really big ground, South. We know the expanses of it, so good for the Crows there as they're able to get a couple early, but obviously that goal as well to Arundel. As we come back to the middle, Meggins and Strawn, as they have done so many times already. Clash Boyle on the bottom of that pack. The ball's knocked out. Dowling finds a hand to Nankervis. Wants to go inside instead, comes to the outside. Ryan manages to turn fit inside out, goes around Bedford as well, and looks inside. It's going to fall at the feet of Dowling, but a great pickup. Hamill spent it before he earned it. Strawn, the big fella, gets in over it. Ball spills out and Bedford decides he's had enough. He just wants to get it forward. Gets it inside 50. Curtin takes it, but he's collected in a tackle by Howes. How did he get rid of that, umpire? He says it was knocked out in the contest. As the Crows fortunate there. They're able to get the ball to Nankervis and finds Ryan now outside their defensive 50. I reckon Howes could have been a little bit stiff then. It was a great tackle on Curtin. Maybe did enough to get his foot to the ball as Ryan comes down the line and he finds the presenting Toby Murray. He started this third term very well. He comes inside to Edwards. He wants to get the ball moving. Wimpress now drives the ball right into the top of the 50. But there's plenty of blue and white there as Wheaton unable to take it. Gallant fires back Wimpress. He's going to send him inside 50 again, and he does just that. Long ball in. Smithson competes. Most recent goal kickers. We get a stoppage there. 30 out. Inside Adelaide's forward 50.
You can hear the Crows bench there demanding them to lock it in. They know just how important these chances are, these forward stoppages. Right, look at the tap down. South look to clear again. Has Bedford. Has plenty of time and space. Just hold things up. Has Fit though. Bounce unkind. Tackled immediately. Somehow gets the handball out. Again, Crows look to go forward through Ryan. Bumped off the ball. Driven inside forward 50 by Tahana. Gallant couldn't quite bring it down. Wrapped up immediately. And another forward 50 stoppage. So it's the 8-minute mark here. The third term, known as the Premiership Quarter for a reason. Defined sides here. Huge second half is Megan somehow gets the ball out. Fit. Couldn't quite clear it on 2 attempts here. And Ryan again driving forward and brilliantly hits up skipper Imagine. He plays on immediately. Has a player open goal. Sizing it up there was Edwards. Probably couldn't believe his luck when he was all on his own inside forward 50, but too much time there and puts it out on the full jack.
Disappointing there from Edwards. Imagine done well presenting up. Found him a little bit too lackadaisical out on the full, and Skinner. He brings it back in now. Contest down the wing. Curtin looks to pick it up. Tackled without it. Yes, the umpire agrees.
Professionally held up by Fit.
And professionally put to the ground there by Curtin as well. As a young Western Australian comes in short to Hamill. Only just 15. Hamill gives the Crows so much drive off half back, but he wants to shift it as well. Goes to the far side. They find Ryan now on the overlap. Ryan looks to lower his eyes. He wants Cook, but it's read so well there by Duncan. Charlie Duncan, only 20 years of age. He played just the 2 league games to date in his third match there. Coming across, cutting across, getting a really big fist and forcing a stoppage here at the Crows attacking mid position.
Well, it's drawn. Megan's contest. Falling in front. Bustling through there, Collins. Again, South here. Long down the line. Crows have 2-on-1. They almost cut each other off, but they do well through Ryan, who's really lifted throughout this contest, trying to drive this Crows comeback. Gets it back again. He had Curtin, but decides to impress. And the handball again. This time has Curtin over the top as he steadies. Held up by the opposing 6 in free tag. Strong down the line. Couldn't quite Boyle. Shrugs the tackle. Shrugs 2. Umpire says holding the ball. Boyle just tried to do a little too much. This one's slow to get up. As the Panthers pressured so well, but being challenged here early in the third term. As Jack mentioned, that's what Matty Wright wanted from his side. Sean comes across, but it's thumped out of bounds by Curtin. Doesn't want to take any chances. It'll be a boundary throw in directly in front of the South interchange.
A nice match-up there. Curtin and Freitag, the 2 number 6s for their respective sides. Similar heights. I think that'll be a good contest here in this second half. As the ball brought back into play. Strawn brings it to the front. Welsh getting up high on the ground. Drives the ball forward, and very nicely done there by Gallant. Playing in front. Able to outmaneuver Schroeder on that occasion.
He's backing himself.
He certainly is. He's coming back. Obviously was a Brett Lee fan back in the day as well, Chris. He's got the nice long run up. He's gone a good 25, 30 metres back from the man on the mark. And he does come in. He'll be kicking from probably just a step outside 50. Gallant, who averages just under 2 goals a game in SANFL footy, comes in. The kick is long. He's got the distance, but it's just offline to that far side. And he now goes to 1 goal 3 on the day. And the Crows themselves, they go 6-9-45. They still trail South Adelaide at the moment, 10-5-65. There's a little bit of careless work there by South bringing the ball back into play. It's going to be a last possession free kick to Adelaide.
So, Crows. The back of Murray now. He's looked very lively. Forward. Brings it forward. Just over the head of Sahana. Well, they have options here. Gallant again. Under it, but read so well. A skin of that time. And Gallant, just his 3 set shots have gone begging here. Got that opener of the day in the goal square. Crumbed nicely. We're just going in deep. This Panthers defence is held up brilliantly, but the Crows are still fancy themselves at 20 points down. Can South just apply more of that pressure in front of the scoreboard? Wanted a Rundle just over his head. Crows again driving forward. Just stays in. Madgen does well. Moving it nicely. There's Ryan in there. South defence again. Holding up strong. Just in front of Arundel. Was a bit too shallow of an entry. Goes across dangerously. But Hamill has it. He does have Clifford across. Goes shorter to Parnell. Parnell now. Winding Curtin. Gets the handball off. Supposed to driving forward but cut off immediately. But South, not many options going forward. Wants Howes but too shallow to Parnell.
It's been back and forth, hasn't it? Turnover after turnover as Parnell looks to settle him. He finds Hamill inside. Such a nice user of the ball. He finds Bond about 20 metres. He looks to get it back. No, not this time. We hear some choice language from some of the people on the South Adelaide bench, but I reckon Dunshea was very hardly done by. He seemed to be following Hamill. He was looking to get the return. He was well within a couple of metres of him. I think maybe give the umpire the benefit of the doubt that he could have been blindsided there, but I think Dunshea is very unlucky to have that called against him, but it is what it is, and it gives Bond here a chance. As he steadies. The kick never looked good off the boot. Skewed. Lucky to get a score in the end as the umpire had to do a lot of work, but just the single behind there for Hugh Bond as the Crows 6-10-46 still trail the Panthers 10-5-65 as we've gone 15 minutes here in this third term.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say perhaps the football gods there. You're just righting a wrong there. And Schroeder, look at a defence to Jonty Shoeback, perhaps named after the great Jonty Rhodes. The South just steadying out of defence. Finding a Rundle who's really lifted as this game's gone along. But they've been held up nicely here. Haven't had a lot going forward as they did in the first half. Just off hands. Going to the middle. At right. Fit. Too overzealous. Mark or front on. Take a choice. Just playing it nicely here. Crows looking to take the tempo out of the contest. Looking to rack up the possessions. Having Clifford now. O'Leary takes it down and dumped after he kicks it. I think that was Howes there. It's unfortunate. Really needed just hang out O'Leary, and O'Leary fortunately is up, but that's the downfield free.
I reckon that might have been Dunshea that ended up collecting him, Chris. I think having a bit of a lean day, Dunshea, and unfortunately for himself, giving away a couple free kicks now as well, with Smithson now a chance to send the Crows inside 50 or a shot on goal as he looks to back himself here.
Yeah, Smithson slowing it down. Got a good view right behind this set shot. About 49 out and always wide. Does it stay in? Finds its way out. So another chance. Gone begging for the Crows here. Back of that free kick. That's out on the full in the end, but they've really done well to keep South in their defensive 50. They haven't let them exit much at all in this third term.
They have. Chris, as South do that rebound out, but it's Curtin. Read that better than Housing. He's able to take a mark at the back. He wants to bring the ball inside. Dangerous kick, but Smithson does well to collect it. Wants to play on straight away. Drives the ball inside 50. He's got one-on-one in the square. But very nicely done there. I reckon that was Schroeder again. Came off his direct opponent in Murray. Imagine it worked his direct opponent, summoned it under the footy and did enough to get a hand and send it over the line. I will say they've often had the distance, Chris, but I find the Crows, they've had a lot of shots from 45 plus, I reckon. A lot of long shots, and they've, as we said, 6-11, 47. I know that was rushed then, but they've been quite inaccurate as they still trail South 10-5, 65 as South look to repel, but Curtin, the iron wall there for the Crows at the moment as he intercepts again and sends the ball back forward. Very nicely done to Hana. He's going to drive the Crows inside 50. Big kick in. Skinner in best position, just out of his hands. It's fighting down there. Edwards pounces on Schuback as Duncan tries to force a kick out, but some sensational pressure down there in the forward line. Didn't quite catch who the Crows player was, but did enough to affect Duncan's kick and force it out on the full. This is brought back into play, and Nankervis now outside the paint of 50, drives it long. It's going to go to the top of the square. It's all South Adelaide. It's all Sam Skinner. He takes another intercept mark. He's been sensational today, Chris.
Certainly has, and that's just as you mentioned, just from beyond the arc there, just keep pumping it in, but all the South defenders are just reading it so well. The long ball, the Crows just might have to lower their eyes here, just pick up a few shorter options to find their way back into this one. Now Schuback, long out of defence, but this is where they've been caught up well by the Crows as they look for another inside forward 50 entry. Be curious to see the count. And this term is Edwards, who blazed one earlier. This time, learning from his mistake and going to go back and take the set shot.
They have been piling on the pressure this quarter. The Crows 34 inside 50s to 21 at the moment against South Adelaide. They've really taken advantage of some of their dominance in the midfield. Another key stat as well, having a look at Sam Skinner. He's had the 9 touches, but he has had 8 marks, and I dare say, I reckon a majority of those would have been intercepts today. He's been a pillar in defence for South.
He certainly has been. He's been great when he was in. He was great since he came back as Edwards this time makes it count. So first you don't succeed, try again, and the Crows now 7-11, 53. All of a sudden, trail South Adelaide by 2 goals, 10-5, 65, to reach the 20-minute mark of the third term.
I think made note of how good South's forwards have been, contesting and competing, but when you get pressure on the footy and you get it up, higher up the ground, as we can see now, South, as we just mentioned then, with that inside 50 count that the Crows lead by 13 currently, they're just building so much pressure, and we've seen Curtin down along that half-back just patrolling, and they really, South, they're struggling at the moment. They're clearing outside 50, but it's just getting rebounded back in, and as we've sung their praises a number of times today, Summerton, Skinner, Schroeder in particular, they're playing very well, but you can only really sustain that for so long, Chris, and when the pressure keeps mounting like it has, and as we said, Crows have probably been a bit wasteful in some ways, but good for them now as they do draw back and only trail now by 12 points.
So the Crows, I think there's positioning infringement. Perhaps just a warning. So reset. Free tag and Strawn in the ruck. Pre-tag couldn't quite bring it down. As the Crows look to go forward again. A great fight back in this third term. Driven forward by Boyle. Underneath a great mark. And it's that man Murray again, who's had 3. He's looked the most likely going forward. They get it out quickly. The stoppage, and Murray can line up here. About 45 out, nearly directly in front for his 4th goal.
Crows midfield has really stepped up this third term. We see there Boyle, Dowling has been really prominent in there. Nankervis when he's gone through the middle. I've liked the way they've looked to get it in quick, and Chris, you called that so well. Toby Murray, he's been the beacon from this quarter. He's had a sensational third term.
So Murray for his 4th. It's now the margin to a goal. Just drifting across in the end. So 11 points the margin now, 7-12, 54. Trails 10-5, 65, 22 minutes gone here in the third term.
So we look to see, the umpire Duncan brought it back in, but something was amiss. He gets a second shot at it as Duncan goes, and he goes short this time to the near side, and he finds Schroeder deep in the pocket. Grandstand side for South Adelaide. Schroeder maybe bites off a little bit more than he can chew, trying to find Wheaton. Gallagher feeds it out. O'Leary gives it to Cook. Looks, he gives it back to Gallagher. Goes on that right foot snap again. And don't believe it, but it's gone in the check side across the face of goal. Had all the work to do then as he was running towards the pocket. Snapped on the right foot. He was coming across the face of goal. I thought with the way the umpire positioned that he was going to be offline, but absolutely not. What a sensational goal from Gallagher. The young Irishman, as you called earlier, Chris, on debut as well. Not a bad way to kick your first goal in league footy.
Certainly not. Talk about the luck of the Irish. I think too, that Gaelic style, they're used to snapping the ball around the body like that with the 2 big sticks, and Gallagher made most of his opportunity there, coming across the course from Monaghan. So the Crows now, all of a sudden, trail by 5 points. You mentioned it. Could the Panthers sustain their pressure? It's just the Crows have just lifted that tempo and come out firing here in this third term, and all of a sudden they're in a kick. 24 minutes gone. In the third term, as Meggins tries to get behind Strawn, couldn't quite. Trying to get it forward at all costs here. Meggins slung after he kicks it, gets it forward though. Fit charging in. So that was Wilkinson. Pitches it nicely. Bradley in there. But finally, South Adelaide can hear clearance forward. A few nervous moments out there. 3/4 time. Won't come quick enough here. Bustling through his Draper. Gets the handball away to Fit. Sizes up the goals, and there's the perfect response the Panthers wanted. They get it going their way. And who else but Liam Fit with a perfect answer here to reach the stroke of 3/4 time.
I was going to mention, Chris, on that last stoppage, it was Sampson, Fit, Draper, all in the midfield. They've been getting smashed there this third term, and they needed a response. Obviously went down, another contest, but Fit, he has been very, very good for South Adelaide today. As we said, 25 years of age, but an experienced player now with who South had lost during the off-season. Exactly what South needed. A goal to really just stem some of the momentum, because it's been all Crows' way. We just said how heavy the inside 50 count have been against them this quarter, and Jared Wright, he would be very happy with Liam Fit getting a major on there, because that was something they desperately needed. It's back to the centre now. Sean and Meggins, no clear winner, as Edwards now drives his legs, wants to send the Crows straight back inside 50, and he does just that, looking for Murray, who's been the star performer for this third term for the Crows. Gallant tries to claim it, but it was off a number of hands as it goes down Shoeback. Head over the footy, could have dived on it. Maybe not. Smithson pleads with the umpire. But he says, give it to me, I want to ball it up. So we're about 40 metres out from Adelaide's goal. Murray wins it down, but it's all South Adelaide. Meggins Wants to get it outside of his defensive 50, and he does just that down the line. Nice contest. And Curvis feeds it as the ball's kicked up high by Clifford. But Sampson reading it well. Intercepts, and he looks like he just wants to take a bit of pace out of it now, Sampson.
You mentioned Sampson. 7 marks now, 19 disposals. Led well down in the fence. Just has to play the percentages strong down the line. Has to come in there late. Strawn falling at the front of the pack here. Getting another opportunity. Weaving through Bonds here. Thinking the handball through there is Edwards. Edwards has it. Wants to go back with the hands. Back to Bond, who's been impressive here in this third term. Bond eyeing up the goals. Not quite marked on the line. Almost drawn in. So minus score to the Crows, 8-13, 61, trailing South Adelaide, 11-5, 71. 10 points the margin here, 27 points. 27 minutes gone here, this third term.
Shoeback quick to bring it in, and Bedford, he finds, I reckon, Arundel over there on the far side of the ground. So he looks to take a little bit of sting out of this quarter as we've ticked over 27 minutes now. Duncan knows that they don't want to concede another major before this three-quarter time break. Currently hold a 10-point lead, but that is a dangerous kick by Summerton across the face of goal. It's a one-on-one, Gallant and Schroeder. Skinner's going to be there to help as well. Gallant could have dived on it, did dive on it. Dragged it back in. In the south, I think Jake Summerton, the captain, he'll be breathing a sigh of relief, Chris. It was not an ideal kick, and you're nearly at the three-quarter time break, and you've had a pillage of goals against you this quarter. Skinner now gives himself plenty of space. Wants to get it as far away from the goals as possible as he drives down the line. Fitz flies, not able to take it. Howes feeds the handball out. Throws, says the umpire. He was well wrapped up. He was under a lot of pressure, Howes. As Dowling now quick to bring it back in, knows there can't be long left, drives it long. Gallant, best position, sits under it. Nearly swallows that one. Given, Smithson feeds the handball over in a great spot, O'Leary. Very nicely done there by the Crows. Super positioning by Smithson. It was a great contest by Gallant. He was in the best position, could have nearly taken the mark, unable to bring it down. Smithson picks up, fed over. O'Leary finds himself on the end of it. He's able to stroll into the open goal screen, kick a major. As we hear, only 10 seconds left in this quarter. And the Crows now 9-13-67. Only trail by the slender 4 points to South Adelaide, 11-5-71. What a contest we have at the moment, Chris.
Oh, it certainly has been. 5 goals, 5 to just 2 goals, 1 in this third term, and it's turned this game right on its head. Here as we near three-quarter time, and we are set up here for an incredible finish on Good Friday footy. Crows took a while, but they're making the most of their chances here. Strong again to the ruck. South looking to answer back late here. And the Crows get their noses in front. Three-quarter time. Siren sounding though. Saving the Panthers there as Edwards look to go forward again. See a few players on their knees around. Some tired legs out there. The heat's coming. The pressure's...
Teams excited for what this last quarter has in store for us. Strawn and Meggins, as I've done all day, battle it out. Draper's able to get it on it. Fed it to Collins, who long high ball, and Wilkinson, too strong, just moves Ryan out the way. Wants to give to Sampson. He runs into trouble though, but he comes again, and Freitag out on the lead against Curtin. Curtin did very well then not to infringe. Enough to get a spoil to the ground. The crowd in the grandstand, they scream, they want a high free kick and they win it. I think it was against Curtin. He looks a bit dismayed by the call, but I think it was there as Wilkinson. Maybe a little bit careless coming in. He'd done so well against Freitag, who out on the lead, hand stretched, probably should have taken the mark, but did enough to get a spoil. Came to ground though on Wilkinson. Finds himself now 2 majors already to his name today. Chance here for his third, and to really give South a little bit of breathing room as Adelaide, they've just hemmed the margin right back, as we said. Only 4 points in it now. It's Wilkinson. Crosses the 50. A little bit of a miss hit. It's not going to make the distance. There's a huge contest at the top, but a great mark there. Nankervis. Number of bigger bodies in there, but he pulls down what is an excellent contested mark and saves the day there on the last line of defence for the Crows.
It was a great effort. And Nankervis, who's played up in the midfield as well, but turnover is fit, just a bit too shallow on goal, and Curtin there on the last line of defence. Doing well to hold it up here as they clear. Fist in. The umpire saying it was a bit overzealous. So with the shoulder. It'll be Dowling here. 2 minutes gone in the final term. The Crows incredible in that third term to find themselves within a kick now. Moving across Curtin again. Doing well to find Cook. Just held up here by Wilkinson. Cook now. Doing well, wants Welsh. This one free. Welsh hasn't seen a lot of it today. Of course, father-son coming across after an impressive season at the Eagles. Now finding Bond, who lifted there. Goes short to Hamill. Sizes up the goals. And just behind. Yeah, so 9-14, 68 now. Trailing by 3 points. The Panthers 11-5, 71. 3 minutes gone here in the final term. Who supports community footy in SA? Amy does.
Shoeback looking for Sampson, but it's too hot for him. Straight over his head as the Crows. They look to get a second shot on goal within 30 seconds. And Dowling does just that, but he's offline again. Billy Dowling, just a minor score there for Adelaide, and this is something that they'll rue on the drive home tonight from Noarlunga. Had a lot of opportunities today. 24 scoring shots at the moment, but just unable to capitalise on some of their chances as Arundel brings South Adelaide, calls for Bedford to come at him, and he does. Finds him on a nice lead up. Collins inside, but goes instead to Draper. It's been around the midfield today for South, and need to be one of those players that helps them overcome this dominant Adelaide midfield as he goes long down the line. Curtin works his opponent under the ball. Hamill is able to collect at the back of the pack, lower his eyes. He finds that man Murray again, who's had a sensational game today. He looks to bring it to this commentary side, and he finds Ryan. Had space to run, but he elects to kick. He's got Welsh out the back. 2 touches in a couple minutes for the young Welsh. This would be good for him. Get him into the game as he looks to drive the footy right to the top of the square. He's got one-on-ones ahead. Gallant coming across. Thought he could have brought it down. Unlucky not to. Shoeback repels as well with Duncan. Could have given it back to Shoeback, but instead he uses his feet, and why wouldn't you when he finds a Rundle out on that far side? He comes back inside. Shoeback looks inside Draper. Game starting to open up now. The heat, the fatigue is definitely set in as Sampson finds his mate in Wilkinson. He gets it back. Wants to put Murray to the test, and he does as he lowers his eyes. Beautifully done there by Hayden Sampson. Finds Freitag hitting up. You can't defend that. What a nice bit of transition play then from South Adelaide out of their back line. Composed play, as we said. Fatigue obviously setting in. It's a warm day, Chris. They open them up, and Hayden Sampson, as he comes for a well-deserved break, great bit of play there to find Freitag to give South a chance to kick their 12th goal of the day.
Yeah, he probably would have been counting his blessings there when he saw it was the big Murray chasing him, and Freitag, who missed one on the lead earlier, has a chance for another. And goes in on the left, Freitag, and delivers a massive goal for South Adelaide. As they extend the margin now to 8 points. Back-to-back Crows misses, and the Panthers pounce, and Freitag with another one to his name. So South Adelaide now 12-5, 77 to the Crows, 9-15, 69. And will they come to rue those chances? And I say it's no surprise across These teams meeting. They are 9 wins apiece and 1 draw. I don't know if we'll have another draw today, but we've certainly been in for a close and thrilling contest, and Freitag comes up big.
It's a massive goal in the context of this game. As we said, you can see a few players when they come to the bench. You can see how zapping it is. First game of the year. It's always a little bit different to the preseason when you're up against real competition. And could this be a telling lead now as Freitag goes into the ruck and wins it down? Looking for Wheaton, who's unable to collect. As Boyle picks up, but he's tackled immediately by Collins. The umpire asks for it back. Middle of the ground. Strawn and Freitag compete. Strawn flicks it over the back, finds Boyle. Spins out of trouble, nicely done, and kicks to a one-on-one. It's the skipper in Summerton, gets a big fist on it opposed to Welsh. Schroeder comes and helps him out. Well done, playing off his man in Gallant. Looked inside, trying to find Draper, but to no avail as Strawn picks it up, flicks out, he finds O'Leary. Gives it to Murray. Looking forward now, very composed, nicely done, finds the Irishman in Gallagher. Looks to go inside to Gallant, Schroeder match up. They've been at it all day as Welsh coming out. Great pick up, showing his wares. Double-handed bounce again, twice today. And then it flicks out Murray, spent it before he earned it. Huge hit there as well by Wilkinson, and he wins himself a free. Duncan's going to take the advantage. Nicely done. Duncan lowers his eyes to Howes. He's been quieter in this second half. But a nice kick there as he finds Bradley working out to the wing. Excellent work, though. I missed who it was, but the Crows defender is coming out. I think it was Clifford. Had to make a big one-on-one contest against Bradley and did. Ends up winning it back for Adelaide.
Oh, it was a great effort as they had a man on in the goal square for a certain goal. It might have been Dunshea who was free, but the Crows' defensive held up nicely. And it's just looked to go slow here. It's Clifford out of defence. Looks the handball, wants Ryan. It's been impressive. Goes strong down the line as a one-on-one. Does well not to the push out and the free kick. Right up here is Magin, the captain. Trying to drag his side over the line. Has to go short though to Hazeman. Panthers defenders filling the gaps nicely. So Hazeman just goes long and strong. Has Murray in there. Couldn't quite bring it down. Just off hands. Duncan. A clear big looping handball. Over the top here to Fit. On that favoured left side here has Bedford. Again, it's quick transition here. Trying to catch the Adelaide defenders out on their feet. It's another obscure bounce as they go across. Holding up nicely, Draper. Hasn't seen a lot of it on his return. Going across now to Duncan, who has options on. Goes short, splits 2 forwards. Pickup doesn't favour either of them. Draper getting it though. Somehow flicks the handball away. Under immense pressure. Wheaton in there. Swinging around the body on Howes. He's been quiet, but marked nicely in the end. So at the end of it all, it's Freitag again, who kicked a mammoth goal earlier from just beyond 50. Has a chance now to extend the lead. And it will be a very handy lead here late for the Panthers. They look to be out on their feet going forward, but Freitag's read it well. He's been busy. He's been in the ruck. He's battled hard down forward. But this for his 3rd goal. A 15-point margin. Freitag makes no mistake about it. He loves it. The South Adelaide faithful love it. And after they've been tested for so much of this second half, they have some much needed breathing room.
His second in the 4th term, Freitag. As I mentioned earlier, Meggins and he going up against Strawn in the ruck. We know how good Strawn has been in the SANFL competition, the premier ruckman really over the last couple of years, but we see there Freitag doing exactly what he needs to do. He's really challenged him. He got him once in that first term as well when he pushed forward, took a mark and executed, and Second time there, took him down. He had the one-on-one. Dunshea was actually spare out as well. Helped as well, impede a little bit. And it was a great mark, though. Strong contested mark.
Straight into the ruck as well. Not getting the bench treatment, not getting a rest down forward. Straight into the action again.
They want him while he's hot. Keep him in there, and why not? As he competes now, wins it down. Looking for Wheaton, but Hazeman cuts it out. Swings it out, finds Cook on the wing. Adelaide will want a response quickly now. They know they need to. Cook drives it in long. He's got one-on-ones ahead of the ball. Murray, big contest, nearly could have been in fringe. It was well done by Skinner in the end not to give it away. Ball spills out. Murray picks it up again, and as quickly as that he responds. Toby Murray, his fourth major for the day. Excellent piece of play. He has been the Crows' shining light today. Up forward. Big compete against Skinner. They've had a great matchup today when he's been down there. Thought he could have nearly been in fringe. Didn't worry about it. Got on with it and picked it up for a big man. He's been exceptionally crafty as well. Able to get it on the boot and kick a major. And Chris, 13-5, 83 South. They only just lead. The Crows 10-15, 75 by 8 points. We're in for a seesawing contest at the moment.
We certainly are. Toby Murray, excited to be back, playing footy and to be in Adelaide colours alongside his brother Nick here at the Crows. He's been exceptional, and their forwards haven't been firing. He's got 4, and they've all been great finishes as well. Free takers trying to get in the ruck, getting the clearance down, finding Boyle. Still plenty of time for either side. Driving forward again. Charging in late was Skinner, crashing the pack, looking the handball out, but straight to the opposition colour, over Murray's head and just through for a behind, and Murray knows he could have got to that one, but not quite. Minor score, 10-16, 76, trailing South Adelaide, 13-5, 83.
I reckon Braden Cook will want his moment back there, Chris, a little bit more composure. Skinner did so well reading it, but turned it over. Cook just blazed a little bit. He had Murray, had the one-on-one as ball comes down the line, and free tag could have been paid the mark. No luck as Boyle finds it in. The quick kick in, the return serve straight back in, and Gallagher, the Irishman, who's kicked the one major, as you called so well, Chris, probably the goal of the year. First round of the year. Can he kick a second goal here that the Crows so desperately need? The awkward kicking style really held it outside of his body and ended up bringing it in a little too near, and was only able to find the behind.
Looked like the conventional option didn't quite favour him, but still plenty of time. It is an awkward kicking style, even for the best players. Is Strong down the line here. Cut off defensively. No, it's the free kick. It's been paid. South, 15 minutes gone here in the final term. Long down the line. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Crows trying to drive it forward through Boyle again, who's been immense. It's 2-on-1 and brilliantly chopped off. Going back, has Somerton. The other co-captain as they just go across here. Schuback has Bedford short. It's a wayward kicking. A costly kick. It's cut off by Nankervis. Has an easy option going forward. Had an open goal square, could have gone home, but after the turnover, there was no one in position for South Adelaide. And Madgen, the captain, for a huge captain's goal to get the Crows, level.
Such a seesawing affair we've seen today. It was all South Adelaide in the first half. Completely dominated the game. As Madgen gives off quickly to Smithson. Unusual choice, only 25 out, but Smithson delivers. Super work there by the captain, Madgen. I think he's struggling a bit with cramp as he comes to the bench now.
Get the pickle juice out.
It was great awareness by Smithson. He recognised it. No South player near him. Madgen, unselfishly, really, he was 25 metres out, fired off the hands Exceptional discipline as we see he comes just in front of our commentary position to get a well-earned drink and probably some work on those hamstrings. But that goal there ties us all up now. The Crows 11-17, 83. Play South Adelaide 13-5, 83. What a game we are seeing down here at Noarlunga. Round one, Good Friday footy. Exactly what you want when you're starting off a new season in 2024. A titanic battle at the moment between South and Adelaide, Chris.
Well, it certainly was. Only moments ago, we thought Freitag had given him some valuable breathing space, and they come out of the middle to answer immediately. Driving forward, sizing up the goals is Bradley, and the immediate response for the Panthers. The back of all the Crows, hard work to get level. Straight out of the middle, and Angus Bradley with a brilliant finish. And just like that, South in front by a goal again, and you wouldn't want to be a betting man trying to pick a winner in this contest. This one's going straight down to the wire right here on SANFL now.
We are in for an absolute heart stopper at the moment. Doesn't that just show you how important the engine room is for both teams? South there able to get it, move it forward. Wheaton fed the hands over to Bradley, and I love that young player, 20 years of age, only the 3 league games to his name at the moment. Composed, steadied himself, coming inside 50, kept it low and punched it through. And an understatement to say South needed that. They now push 6 points ahead as the ball comes back to the middle. As the Crows now look, they want to counteract that, and they do. As Dowling takes it out the middle, one bounce. Lowers his eyes, driving forward, wants to find Gallant on the lead, and he does. Very nicely done then, Billy Dowling. They needed a response, and he, with 27 touches today, his 8th clearance just then, he's been one of the Crows' prime movers, and I love that going forward, Chris. Could have pinned the ears back, could have maybe taken another bounce and blazed away. Instead, suited up to his leading forward in Gallant. He's found him. It's a tough angle. It'll take Gallant's best kick, but a chance here for the Crows to get a response immediately.
Oh, he's had a tough day in front of goal with these set shots. 1 goal, 3. Those 3 behinds have all been in the set play. Oh, and just when they needed it most, the reverse curse from the commentator on Gallant puts that one through. And just like that, the Crows are level again.
His ears must have been burning then, Chris. I reckon he must have heard you. As we said, he's had a tough day. Even though he's kicked the 2 goals, 3, he's had 5 shots on goal. It's a good return for a key forward. I feel like Schroeder, as we said so much, particularly in that first half, it just had the better of him. But as you do, as good players do, he's worked his way back into the game there. And great execution then. That was a very acute angle. It was tough. Far side, we said how it's been warm. We said how it's obviously fatiguing for these players at the moment. But he showed no signs of fatigue when he executed then. Straight as an arrow through. And we're tied up back here, 89 apiece as we go back to the middle.
Well, who blinks first? This one is going right down to the wire as the twilight falls here. See the afternoon sun coming in. It's been a great afternoon at Flinders University Stadium. 2 great teams. The Crows, after coming off a 4th prelim final exit, looking to go one step beyond, and South Adelaide a long year ahead to break that drought. They've both played exceptionally well today. Slap forward. Ryan again, looking to go inboard. Does nicely to hit up Bond. The Crows been level twice, but haven't led all day. Can they lead when it counts most? Driving forward again, just off hands. Bustling through. Flicks the handball out the back here. South looking to clear. High up and under kick. Magin just fisted away. Turning goes the check side behind from Gallant. Oh, out on the full in the end. Oh, they still haven't hit the front, the Crows. Their inaccuracy, well, it may cost them the points in the end as South have been penned in the second half through defence. How do they get out of this one?
Summerton drives the ball outside of his defensive 50. Big contest. No one able to take the mark. As Bedford gives it to 9, he kicks it about 50 metres. It's straight up in the air. Big contest. Howes off the side of the boot as well. Collins. Fatigue clearly setting in. Just trying to jam it forward. Could have been touched though, I think. Must have been touched. The players, they're set up for a free kick, but it's actually touched off the boot, so there's going to be a throw in. Imagine's going to have to be the makeshift ruck. Strong was already getting forward, and he does well. The front of the pack. Collins picks it up. He's tackled immediately by Bond. As Imagine seems all but happy to hand the rucking responsibility back to Strawn. Strawn and Meggins. Null and void. Meggins wins it down though. Gives a hand to Nye, who finds Draper. Wants to fend off Dowling. Dowling says don't do that as he wraps him up in the tackle. Ryan picks up now. Looks for Bond. He's met by a swarm of South Adelaide players. Aggressive tackle there by Wilkinson as well. We hear the crowd. I think the crowd, South fans wanted to hold him the ball. They thought Bond took him on. He was well adjudicated by the umpire. So we have another stoppage here. Centre wing. Neither ruck touched the ball. Bond down. Could have been shoved in the back, and he was by Draper. Bond looking to settle now as he finds Hazeman, and he's going to send the Crows back inside 50 with a long ball. One-on-one's ahead. Imagine gets hands to it, unable to bring it down. Skinner finds himself on the bottom. Feeds it out. Clifton gives it and gets it back from Bedford. Lowers his eyes, wants Wilkinson, but he's missing him there. Wilkinson able to find the scraps and pick it up. Fires a handball to finish. Tackled immediately. Aggressive Will Hamill tackle. Great football by both players, and the umpire calls it in. He'll ball it up again here on the wing.
Certainly one thing we can say is the intensity has not dropped an inch. We see Crows coach Matty Wright down on the bench. I'm sure he'd love to be out there to have a say on this contest. Ducking under Bedford. Another ball up here. 23 and a half minutes gone. Scores are level. These two sides have only had one previous draw between them. Will we see another? I say, based on the way the game's gone, you'd say both sides sharing the points to be fair, but no other teams do as Bedford drives it forward with his best effort. Has a one-on-one. Nankervis does well to find as well in front. Advantage paid. Holding on there. Down the line. Finds Dowling directly in front of us. Driving forward. Doing well to hit up Boyle. Boyle spots a one-on-one at the top of the square. Holding on. Bouncing through. Schroeder. The snap. And the behind. And it's late in the day. And the Crows, for the first time today, have the lead, and it's by a point. Can they hang on?
What a crucial behind that could be. Scoring has been hard to come by in this fourth term. The Crows have had a lot of the play inside their forward 50. Gallagher's behind then could be a defining moment of this game as Duncan tries to drive it out, but it's all the Crows and Strawn. Reads it well down the line. So look down to the bench, Chris, and Wilkinson. I reckon he must have a dislocated finger in that last contest. He has the doctor trying his best to get that back in, which is never easy. As Strawn and Adelaide here, they look to take the sting out of the game. Billy Dowling, he has been super impressive in this round one contest. He was one of the real drivers in the mid to get Adelaide back into it. Still take his best effort though. Plays on. Long. High ball. Has it got the trip? The arms up. And the round of applause and celebration tells you that it does. Billy Dowling. A cherry on top of what has probably been a best on ground performance today. 31 touches. And a major there. And really what is probably going to be the death blow for South Adelaide in this contest. As Adelaide 13-18-96 now leads South Adelaide 14-5-89 as we tick over 26 minutes.
Well, it took him nearly all day for the Crows. Snake their noses in front, and then Billy Dowlings, he backed himself from beyond 50 and he nailed it. And for the Panthers, They'll have to be near perfect from here. 2 unanswered goals, and you've got a feeling not much time to go. There's Meggins and Strawn in the ruck as they battled hard in the heat all day. I say, how's this? And a good Friday footy. What an opening round it's been. What an opening contest this has been as Draper looking the handball through to Fit. Takes the bounce. Goes on his left. Brilliantly done by Fit out of the middle. Finding Dunshea. Another one of those players on debut. Hasn't touched it at all. Dunshea. What a crucial first disposal this could be to bring the margin back within a point. Dunshea. Shallow off the boot. And it's a behind. 1 goal the difference here. It's the Crows. No hurry out of defence. Will surely look to run the sting out of the Panthers' tail here. Just run out the seconds on the clock.
Danger not averted here, though. South Adelaide can somehow get a major. They'll be able to bring this back. And Skinner, as he's done a number of times, intercept marks. He knows the routine. Drives it back inside 50. He's got one-on-ones. Dunshea flies. Unable to bring it down. A swarm of Crows players. They want to get the ball out of there as quick as they can. As it spills down, Draper, unable to collect on the first try. Gets it on the second. Gives it back to Skinner. Skinner finds Fit. He's been prolific today for South Adelaide. He sends him back inside 50. Can there be a hero for South here late in the contest? Spilled off hands. Hamill collects it first. Takes him on. Did he drop it? Umpire says he did, holding the ball. Angus Bradley. Who kicked such a crucial goal in this 4th term. As we said, 20 years of age. Only playing his 4th game of league footy. Hamill done so well. There's so much pressure on the ball, but Bradley stayed with him. Executed a splendid tackle. And a chance here now to put South back in this contest, and he can't find the major that they so desperately need.
Can they pinch it? The Crows just slowly out of defence. 5 points to the margin. Bradley could have tied it up here, and it's fisted away brilliantly. South still feel they're at a chance here. The fans still feel they're at a chance. Surely not much time remaining. 5 points to the margin. South Adelaide, can they pull off the perfect play here late on what has been an exceptional game on Good Friday to close out an incredible opening round in the 2024 season? Meggins and Strawn in there. Draper in front, trying to flick it forward. The Crows forward by all costs here. Murray, who's been impressive all day, over the top of Skinner. Couldn't quite getting the soccer forward. Gallagher and Bedford. Bedford gets the front position just off the get. Gallagher sees it out of bounds, and throw in here on the right side of the Crows, and that could all but do it.
The 30-second signs have been up on both benches. Christopher, I reckon nearly that, 30 seconds. What a contest we have seen today. What a round 1 clash. Both teams have given their all today. They have left nothing to spare. It's Meggins and Strawn compete here. It's a kick. Forward by Edwards as the siren sounds. And the players, the Crows, pull off what is really a great escape today. 13-18-96. Defeat South Adelaide by 5 points, 14-7-91. What a round 1 contest we just witnessed.
Oh, it was incredible. I almost couldn't buy a goal at one point. I had some crucial ones late. Sniffing their noses in front off the back of Gallagher, who was impressive. And then Dowling, as you mentioned, Bradley.